So speaking of anti-Italian sentiment, a thing that we said ages ago that I don't think we've actually formally introduced. Hey, oh. The Dutch have been on one this week, more so than usual.
Oh, no.
And I think you've seen this magazine cover, Nick.
Yes,
but
I
I've just sent it to you on Twitter there, Riley. Or fucking Milo. God damn it.
Damn. Wow. You know what? It hurts.
Yo, what's up, Alice?
Yo.
All British people look the same to me.
Hi, it's me, Nate.
No, Nate's not British. I recognize an American when I see one.
Riding the boards. Nuke the Dutch. Oh, okay. Oh, I love reading Dutch because it just sounds like if you're like listening to a drunk person speak English.
Yeah, like they learned a little bit of German, and they also but English is also clearly not their first language either. But they think they're both the same thing.
Yeah.
So yeah, this is like the Dutch version of the Spectator.
Okay.
As far as I know, they make all their money by like scamming research papers out of people.
Yeah.
Basically. But yeah, I loved this picture of just like, oh, look at us hardworking Dutch. And all the like Italian Stalin is down there having his like wine and coffee
With his fucking like Dali mustache.
Yeah.
and his thought girlfriend who's like on every social media account at once apparently.
Yeah,
They're
she's
all just
pressing the YouTube button.
Wait,
Yeah,
did you
she's
send
on
this in the
she's on
chat?
Pinterest. It's in the Twitter DM for me anyway.
Oh God!
Oh, sorry.
Send it in the chat, you prick.
I'm sorry, I thought you'd seen this. This is all going very swimmingly.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I love how
it's fine.
Yeah, every word on this could basically every like 2-word combo on this could basically be an excellent screen name. Geen Stiver, fucking Kerning BB.
Well, these are all just like various members of like the current Dutch government.
Yes.
Geen Stiver's opinion on Italians has been just...
Yeah, 100%. We were talking
no
about
bueno.
the Dutch the other day. We were doing an episode about just the European Union doing austerity again, and one of the Dutch politicians at the forefront of it was called, it was called like Vodka Vanka or something. We were just like, what the, like such a name. Like just every time Dutch politics comes up, there's always some right-wing guy who just sounds like a Willy Wonka supporting character.
Yeah, pretty much.
I don't like. Should I just start channeling this energy of my man down here, like with backgammon, his coffee and wine at the
Coffee
same
and
damn
wine.
time.
He's not
Yeah.
fucking
you
around.
know. No, he isn't. He's fucking.
Yeah, this is what Nick looks like. In real life.
That'd be so cool.
Why does-
I would.
Yeah. Why does
Yeah.
everyone on this magazine cover have like really big hands but really small feet? Is this like a thing like the Dutch are like really anti foot fetish? Like they're just trying to like reduce the prominence of feet as much as possible.
I think that's exactly it. I think there was just like we've the numbers of our sales have been skewed too much towards foot people, so we really have to downplay that.
I just really want to start a thing of that. I want to uncover that the Netherlands is actually the laziest country in all of Europe. Like, there is, like, first off, who the fuck is this, like, Dutch mechanic, like, working in a fucking Dutch factory? Like, those don't exist. Those literally don't fucking exist.
Yeah.
Like,
Just
I'm sorry,
tightening a spanner on a huge bong.
yeah, I mean, either that or fucking like what he's like clocking into the fucking tax evasion factory, like.
I did have this like issue because Dutch reply guys are now a thing, and it's very upsetting to me. But
Reply
like,
guys.
but I literally was just like, oh, you're fucking stupid, like tax evasion economy, and it was just like, well, actually, we have Shell, and I'm like, oh, good, you have Shell.
I'm sorry, do you have a problem with the tax evasion?
How about global warming and climate apocalypse?
Listen, if you invite the guys around for tax evasion, sometimes it's a good excuse to fuck each other.
I love your Dutch accent because like every Dutch person I've met just has just like horrifyingly perfect English.
Yeah, that is true.
Yeah,
my
it's
Dutch
just like-
accent is basically just gold member. If you make me
Good.
imagine a Dutch politician, it will be gold member.
Nice. Yes, absolutely. I want more of this. I want more of this anti-Dutch sentiment. This is gonna be our new. This is gonna be our new thing. I want all of the like, I don't know, 40 people who live in the Netherlands to be mad at our show.
No, they're the first people to tell us that it's a garbage country. I love them.
No, they're fine. I mean, like the other people, the other like 20.
Oh, the reply guys.
Yeah. It's not a real country. I don't want to accept it.
Reply.
Like, okay, the Netherlands, Belgium, Liechtenstein, all those countries like that, I either, one, forget they exist, or when I remember they exist, I just realize that they're actually not real. Like, they're just, like, a bunch of, like, micronations all put together.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, Belgium is totally not real. It's like a country. All the iconography associated with it is just like close to pedophilia, without being like completely over the line. Like imagine being the African country unlucky enough to get colonized by the Belgians specifically, and not only are you being subject to brutal colonization, but also they're just putting up statues of like little boys peeing everywhere.
I do feel like at the end of all of like the horrificness of that was the Belgian Congo, there's like someone who's just had their entire like village reduced to ash just looks at a map and is like, that's Belgium? That is what it is.
I still love that fucking thing of like Belgium and Europe, and it's just like, you know, like,
oh, the T-Rex from Toy Story.
Exactly.
And Belgium and Africa is the T-Rex from Jurassic Park 1, yeah. Hey, it's your weekly corner Späti. It's me, one of your hosts, Kieran, cosplaying as Nick, because every time, as I don't say hey 3 times in a row, ever, it's just Nick. Speaking of which, Nick is with us.
Hi.
Hey. Yulia and Rob are installing 5G masts somewhere in the Southern Caucasus.
Awesome.
So they won't be with us. Yeah. But this week we have our wonderful 3-time guest, 3-time champion, Milo Edwards.
Hello, it's me, your boy. I'm also cosplaying as Nick. I'm wearing my blue and white Greek flag stripe Adidas tracksuit.
You joke, but it do be like that.
Yeah. Like, actually, yeah, I can see Milo on the screen, looking real fucking swarthy and lazy, sitting back with his fucking, you know, like getting, you know,
your crushed velvet shirt and your coffee
drunk,
and wine.
yeah,
100%.
fucking drunk and coffee rushed at the same time.
Yeah. I'm slightly sweaty because I've been sabotaging my own garage door because it's a way to save money on your income tax. It's like a write-off for it. I'm off later to help the local priest throw a donkey off the church roof as part of a tradition no one understands.
Weirdly, speaking of good Greek traditions, so Greece is reopening up tourism for only like 3 countries. And I don't remember if it was Greece or Cyprus, which, whatever, you know.
Country 1, Albania. Country 2,
no, it's fucking
FYR North Macedonia.
No, it's fucking Germany and Israel.
Hell yeah. God, can you imagine a worse experience as like a Greek hotel owner than all your guests being German and Israeli? Like the 2 most annoying kinds of tourists.
Oh, yeah. And I think it was really funny, too. I think we mentioned this like a week or 2 ago that like the German government was like legitimately like they did like a Twitter like ask us questions thing, and like half of them were just like, oh, wann darf ich wieder nach Griechenland? And like, oh, no one else in the pod speaks German now. Fuck. Shit.
Yeah, that is going to be an issue.
You're in our world now, Nick.
I hate it. No, so they were just like literally just like all these fucking just like, you know, Germans just like yelling at Heiko Maas being like, when can I go back to Greece for vacation?
Yeah, I mean, Greece is Germany's Baskin Robbins. That's basically
31 flavors of tax evasion. I think, yeah, like, I mean, Greece, basically what Germany wants to do is just, like, make Greece, like, a little, like, satellite state of Germany where, like, Germans can go on holiday. That would be dope.
Yeah.
Isn't it already that? Like...
It's kind of already that. I won't accept that until, like, we basically turn it into Europe's Florida and we get, like, Universal Park Studios in Greece or Giro Disney, our lovely Giro Disney.
A big rotating Disney that you just carve slices off and serve them in bread.
100% goofy. Yeah. So, chain smoking Mickey Mouse. God,
yeah, damn. I mean, like, which Disney character would be the best animal to serve in gyros? Like, maybe the Beast from the Beauty of the Beast. You just like shave him first. Get one of them big legs on a rotating spit.
Yeah, he does look a little gamey, but if you spice it right, yeah, no, I can see that. Yeah, so I guess I don't know how to segue into this like really dumb topic, but like I found just
we talked about Cyprus,
Yeah.
that's a British protectorate still, kind of weirdly.
there you go,
Boom,
there you go.
yeah, other British protectorate, Hong Kong. Just kidding, not actually in Hong Kong. We're going to put it somewhere else. We're moving it, all around the world playing in the background.
The Daft Punk music. Just in like a shipping container stacked full of like Cantonese people. It's just piping in Daft Punks around the world.
Just doing season 2 of The Wire, but to the entirety of Hong Kong.
All right, so the weird, back up a little bit of how this all started. The Opium Wars.
The year is 1600, yeah.
The actual thing that sparked off this is that the UK is currently considering a quote-unquote path to citizenship for around 300,000 BNO passport holders of Hong Kong, which is like people in Hong Kong who still have effectively like British passports from before 1997, I guess.
Yeah, I was talking about this with my mum actually yesterday, and neither of us could quite work out what was going on with this because, like, there is such a thing as a Hong Kong passport, but we were surprised that so few people had them because we presumed that at the time Hong Kong became independent, kind of most people who lived in Hong Kong had one, but apparently not. Apparently it's only like some very small... Because like back in the day, Britain used to have this incredibly baroque system of like colonial citizenship where you could be like an overseas territories citizen, you could be like a British subject, you could be like a British colonial subject. There were like all kinds of like mad different... Like, do you know that if you're from Jersey, you have a different passport to someone who's from mainland Britain?
Yes, you do.
Yo,
yeah.
Jersey, yeah. We ain't from fucking New York.
Oh. I would love it if Jersey, the Channel Island, had exactly the same culture as just like North Caldwell. Just going around, go to Jersey, oh, this fucking guy. He's coming over here, wants to get some of our fucking Channel Island milk. Oh, you want the fucking creamy stuff? You don't got none of that in Brooklyn. Oh, you want to invest in a pension fund at a lower than average tax rate?
I mean, like, this is, like, there's this... Yeah, because this Baroque system still exists, because I remember one time back in Kieran's Being a Musician Day, I got paid in cash for a gig I did in Northern Ireland in, like, Northern Irish pounds, which is the pound sterling, but it has different, like, artwork on it.
Oh, yeah, like Scottish pound, same shit, yeah.
Yeah, exactly, yeah. But even more cursed than Scottish pounds.
It's a collab.
Yeah. I saved it being like, all right, I'm going to England in a couple of weeks. I'll just use this as spending money while I'm over there. Not realizing that basically I got my mom almost arrested for fraud when I lent her the money and she tried to buy a pair of shoes with it and called the entire staff of Marks and Spencer's over just staring at this like £50 note for about 4 hours trying to figure out what the fuck it was. So,
oh yeah, that's like a weird thing that used to happen a lot. Like it's completely legal to use in like the mainland Britain, but you just so rarely see it. Like I've had trouble spending Scottish money in England before as well, because like when it gets paid into a bank, they send it back to Scotland. Like it's not supposed to circulate in England, even though you're allowed to spend it. So like English people never see it, and they're like, "What the fuck is that then? Some sort of fake money?"
Yo, wait, I kind of am imagining now this for all of the Eurozone.
This is that could be where we're heading.
I mean, I don't know. Well, I don't know. Never mind. Okay, keep going. Sorry.
Yeah, but I remember when I moved to Scotland and just like the bigger banks would just have like this ATM dispenses English pound sterling, and it was like this system doesn't work. It's just like all Scottish people have to get new money if they're traveling south. Anyway, so yeah, there's like 300,000 currently BNO passport holders, which is like British something overseas, British nations overseas.
Yeah, it's very dangerous to leave an N in an acronym and not explain what it stands for, especially when we're talking about British colonial administration.
Yeah, right. We didn't make a new cast for the Hong Kong, so they just get grouped in with the others, I guess. Yeah, so this is what's happened, and this sparked a wonderful article from a Twitter thread that then became an article by one Sam Bowman, who I had not known before this. He seems to be like competition policy expert at Law Econ Center. I don't know what any of this is. He seems to be like a weird British libertarian.
Oh yeah, he's completely mad. Like his whole
this.
thing is he's just a poster, but he's like I didn't even know. Yeah, like a contrary poster. Anyway, the big thing about Sam Bowman is that he is renowned on Twitter for posting pictures of meals that he has cooked, as though to be like, look at this.
Oh, this
awesome
is the best
meal.
type of British culture that exists. Is everyone flexing on how bad they can cook?
Oh yeah, but they have no idea. He's like, oh yeah, just chefing it up, and he posts a picture. It looks like something out of Srebrenica. Like it's like some sort of horrifying, like just you can't really tell what it is. There was an infamous one where he'd sort of spatchcocked a chicken and like it was bad. I can't without the visual aids. It's hard to explain, but yeah, and people just dunk on him all the time.
It's like. It's looking at a piece of meat and like seeing a rainbow for the first time, except the rainbow, all the colors are various degrees of gray that you've never seen before. So anyway, this tweet thread starts with out of the blue, out of nowhere, I guess kind of in response to this
racial slurs.
Yeah. Kind of in response to this 300,000 passports thing. Sam Bowman posts, the only reason the UK wouldn't set up a charter city for all Hong Kongers, all in capital letters, on some empty piece of land on the coast somewhere, is that it seems weird and unprecedented. This is the only reason.
The only reason. No other possible hiccups in that plan.
There is no other good argument against it. If it took off...
What? That's such a mad thing to proclaim.
Forced relocation of people, I see nothing wrong with it except for that then it's just it's a little freaky.
Yeah. Also, like some like libertarian guy just being like, oh yeah, just like all this empty land in like the north of Britain, it's not presumably owned by anyone. That's not going to be an issue. Like no one in Britain owns anything. That's not a class that I'm in favor of.
Like, okay, so before this last tweet, if it took off, it would turn the UK into a powerhouse. Thumbs up emoji, Union Jack flag emoji.
Dope. Awesome.
Okay, so I really love the
question.
question.
We're going to put Hong Kong in North Caldwell, New Jersey. Those fucking math guys, they're going to come over here and help with the Esplanade. Everyone was asking underneath, and it's a very good question of powerhouse in what? And I'm just like, yeah, in 150 years, maybe like the Lake District will have like a good Cantonese restaurant. So it'll be worth it.
I'm just upset that, just like the fine nuance of how he wrote the word powerhouse and then didn't do the like flexing emoji after it instead of the thumbs up. Like I feel that he really missed out on real fucking dumb guy culture right there.
But do you reckon he's got like just like a really like a simpleton angle here, and he just like he's desperate for the UK to finally make a good kung fu movie? Like the deep down, that's just he's just really hoping.
He just watched one of the like 80s Jackie Chan movies and like, oh, this is really good. What if this? But it was Liam Neeson.
Yeah, and it's like what do these people even think happens in Hong Kong?
It already exists. Taken is exactly that fucking movie.
Taken 3
times. He made 3 fucking of the same movie for, yeah, never mind.
The tweet thread goes on. There's only one man in government who thinks big enough for this to happen. I hope he won't hold it in and piss away our chance to save Hong Kongers and ourselves as well.
You can't hold it in and piss.
Looking at you, Xi Jinping. Reconquer Hong Kong.
And then he posts a map called Nobody Lives Here. The yellow areas are empty parts of the UK. The government would set up a special administrative zone, those fun things that exist in Poland that crush all like workers' rights, in one of these places where Hong Kong equivalent law ruled, and where all Hong Kongers and Brits and more.
And Brits and more.
Wait, you mean wait, isn't Hong Kong law that thing where just like 8 corporations just like write their fucking constitution for them like continuously?
Yeah, Hong Kong law.
Yeah, we love a bit of Hong Kong law. Yeah, I mean, this is one of the things is like, what do these people think happens in Hong Kong? Like, yeah, it's a big financial center because it's in Asia, but it's like run in a Western way, and also because it has like no taxes. Like that's like, so what do you think is going to happen if you move it to Britain?
Well, yeah, like the God. Okay, and would move to freely a new city and a new hope. Let's do it! Exclamation point. In which case he then posts like
Flex
a link.
emoji, right?
No flex emoji. I'm sorry, man. It's not coming. It's not coming. Then he posts this article where he goes into more detail because he feels like Twitter is too limiting for this idea.
Amazing. This man's brain, he is like, he's the meme of the guy sitting on a throne made of his own brain, right? Like, that's what's going on here. Because it's also it's like if you want like a bunch of like, invigorating immigration from Hong Kong, like just give them fucking passports and let them, like, why do you have to like put them in like a weird corral in like Aberdeenshire to ensure like we want the Hong Kongers to come to Britain and improve our economy, but we don't want them mixing with the white race. Like that shit is what we do not want.
There is something like desperately a part of that. Okay, so like. Yeah, like as Milo was saying, like Hong Kong's like reason it's successful is like very much due to where it is, because it's like at the end of the Yangtze River Delta, where like every city up the river is just like a massive manufacturing town in China that makes basically everything in the world, and it all just goes through Hong Kong, or at least used to. So like apparently we can just recreate that by like transporting the 7.5 million people in Hong Kong. In Nick's horrifying idea of shipping containers playing Daft Punk songs, to somewhere in the UK.
Yeah, we're just extending the Yangtze River by canal all the way to like fucking Renfrewshire or whatever the fuck.
Wait, this is the UK's answer to like the Belt and Road project is just extend the river all the way through like a bunch of countries they don't have any control or say over, but until eventually it reads like Leeds or something.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Bring him into Leeds. Replace Leeds. I'm down with that. Let's do it.
Yeah. And
so obviously the tweet thread wasn't enough. He hashed this idea out more, I take it.
Oh yeah.
And like where does he go from here, I guess? Cuz this idea is already.
Were there any big hits? Were there any like key points?
So, would it surprise you to say that this plan lacks a lot of structure?
No.
But, the article is called "Let's Build Hong Kong 2.0 Here in the UK" on
Hong Kong 2 Tokyo Drift.
2 Hong 2 Kong.
Yeah.
Oh God. So yeah, he basically says that he tries to pitch it as a thing where he feels sympathetic for the 7.5 million Hong Kong residents who aren't in this 300,000 people who would be allowed to come to the UK. And then
if it was 300,000 people, it wouldn't even be in like the top 10 cities in Britain. Like that is even if every single one of them was like, yeah, we're going to get in the Daft Punk shipping container and we're going to be shipped to like some godforsaken grouse moor in the north of fucking Scotland. Even then, it wouldn't really be enough people to create what you would call in any general terms a city.
No, of course not. It will just be Cold Fire Fest, except you live there forever now. Yeah. All right, so let's see some good things. So the real solution to this, he says, is to build a new city, of course. The charter city with unique rules for everyone to flee the communist regime of China, of course.
Are these unique rules going to be like child labor? All that good shit.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Like, if it's anything like any other special economic zone, it will just be like, there is only one rule, there are no rules.
Yeah, everyone gets to do like 20 grams of coke a year and murder exactly one hooker a year. Those are like the...
But there's like these, like ramen food carts now, so isn't this great? We've done it. Society achieved.
This is the level of stupidity that there's that one, is it Meghan McArdle? I think it is. I think that's a level of stupidity that then she had this article of like, Italian food in New York is so great. We should export it across the United States. Like, clearly never have lived. Like, clearly has never stepped out of New York City. And like, clearly is not like just not acknowledging the fact of that. Then one idea, dumb as shit, like sending like tax breaks to like the what was it? It was like tax breaks to like Italian restaurant owners in New York to like move to other places so that they could bring Italian food to every other state that already exists there because her idea of fucking migration just like stops in like 1905.
Yeah. And we can have like The Sopranos, except it's set in like North Dakota or something. That'd be great.
Yeah. Oh, okay, sure, you betcha.
But I think that there's just like a similar line about, I mean, because like Megan McArdle like also like identifies as a libertarian, and I don't know, like maybe like when you do personally identify at that like past like, you know, being a 13-year-old boy, your brain just like you have these ideas in your head just like nonstop, and it's just like I'm wondering which ones are the ones that then stick, that you're like, yes, like I have to post about I fucking want to ship all of Hong Kong across the country, you know, across the world.
100%. We're going to move Hong Kong to Britain, and in this special zone, the age of consent is going to be 12. It's going to be awesome.
Yeah, because it fits like perfectly into their ideology of just like how childish it is. Of like, you know, I need the state to create no rules but the rules that I want. By the way, like I need it to be like incredibly authoritarian for like these groups of people that I don't actually like.
Oh,
we'll just make it so the age of consent is having a job. And then once we change that law, baby.
Look, if you're old enough to stick your hand in the steam loom, you're old enough to put it somewhere else. That's what I say.
Hong Kong has turned the UK into a powerhouse of the spitting Jenny.
100%. We're going back. It's retro. It's in, baby. The greatest mistake was bringing Hong Kong to Britain, where it was shot by fighter planes as it tried to climb the Empire HSBC building.
Oh God. Okay, so here's where we get one of these lovely little pieces of where maybe he's going with this, and maybe how this person, this Sam, doesn't really understand anything that happened with Hong Kong before 1997. So
yeah, nothing.
Nothing. No, nothing. Absolutely not. Advocates of charter cities want to replicate the success of Hong Kong and Singapore. Why couldn't we apply a similar principle to other parts of the world where good governance is in short supply, like Latin America or Sub-Saharan Africa?
Dope. Right, that's it. We're moving fucking Luxembourg to like Sierra Leone. We're doing it. It's happening.
We're recreating the Swahili coast, but exclusively populated by like fancy boys from London who rule over everyone else.
Just a bunch of Dutch guys getting their fucking Lamborghini stuck in a sand dune.
Oh, God. So, yeah, he's kind of the idea that we could basically fix all of the world if we just did this. Referencing Paul Romer, the recent Nobel laureate, said that we should just do this to Honduras to fix Honduras.
What
so that's
fuck?
Great.
Like, these people had their brain amputated. Like, what is that? Oh, the problem with Honduras is all the red tape. Like, what the fuck? Like, how? What? Isn't it like the country with like the highest murder rate on Earth? And they think just by going in there and being like, "Hey guys, here's a fucking Starbucks and a bunch of banking regulations. Have fun." Like, as though that's going to somehow solve the problem.
Yeah, I really love the idea of just like the problem with Latin America and Sub-Saharan Africa was actually not enough colonialism, so let's just give that another whack.
Exactly. Let's do Venezuela too. Venezuela squared, Silicon Valley style.
This time it's personal.
So here's where he starts outlining his plan. This Hong Kong 2.0 would start on an empty bit of land somewhere on the coast.
Hong Kong 2.0 Judgment Day.
Sounds quite a lot like Hong Kong 1.0.
Yeah. What's different? What's the pizzazz? Give me something new. Yeah. So that anybody who moved there would be opting into the laws that govern it. Cool.
Okay, now that sounds a bit like there's going to be some fine print there. Like that's where they're like, oh, I have to donate blood to this one guy every. I mean, I guess.
Oh, but I get to kill a hooker. Okay.
Oh, yeah. Oh, nice.
Well, you know, swings and roundabouts.
Exactly.
Those laws could continue on things that have made Hong Kong great. the property rights, low regulation, openness to trade, and a British legal system that have put Hong Kong at the top of the Fraser Institute's Economic Freedom of the World rankings.
Yes. Now we're getting to it. Fuck yeah. Oh, I love this.
That rules. When the guys come in from the Freedom Institute and rank how free you are, like just getting out some fucking calipers and a measuring tape. Like just studiously taking notes, like, and how easy is it to get child pornography? Very easy, you say.
Yes, that is free. Put away the pen, Seymour. There's a Starbucks over there. Clearly.
Have I mentioned before too, on the sense of like, I think in 2005 Iraq was like ranked at like number 3 on the Heritage Foundation's list for economic freedom.
For like number of American troops stationed.
No, for just like market freedoms, because they just like the economy just like completely ripped apart and just like a fucking like it was Disneyland for if you had the fucking like private military thing going on. Like there were no economic regulations, so there's like a little blip in history where the Heritage Foundation is like Iraq, great economy, everything else kind of shit.
Oh yeah, like those 2 American deadbeat guys who just decided to become arms dealers during the fucking Iraq War and ended up
exactly
driving a fucking truck of Berettas across the Iraqi desert with absolutely no idea what they were doing and almost getting killed.
That's freedom. That's that is economic freedom at its finest.
Exactly. That's what we just want. That we just want to do the Iraq War on Scotland. That's gonna rule. We're gonna find the dude in Scotland who looks most like Saddam Hussein. Do a like weirdly botched public execution, and then we're gonna build Hong Kong over his grave.
Oh God, yes. That almost happened in the 80s, Milo. I'm not gonna lie, but we'll get to that later. For Britain, the benefits would be huge. A new city made up of some of the most productive and innovative people on Earth. Calipers.
Cheap labor. Just read it inside. Cheap labor.
I love this like new kind of like dog whistle shit he's invented about the Hong Kong. Well, the thing about the people from Hong Kong is they're very productive. Let's just say you wouldn't want to be competing against them in a math test.
Drawing in new talent and investment from all around the world. And depending where it was located, it could help rebalance the country's economic center of gravity away from London. Yes, the northern powerhouse is now Hong Kong.
Fucking dope. Like, Middlesbrough still sucks ass, but like, there's just like Hong Kong and Scotland.
But we get all the like 80s style Jackie Chan movies, but they all sound like they're from Newcastle. It'd be brilliant.
God, imagine how awful the accent would be that would emerge from a kind of like the sort of like the intermixing of the Scots and the Hong Kong Chinese.
So good. This is the future. See, like, so this is like at this point when reading the article, this was like when I realized this is going to happen. Because I'm now of the opinion that the funniest thing that can happen is now the thing that will happen. That's the only way you can predict the future. And this is just mind-numbingly stupid because every bit of this will break down.
Oh,
and it will be brilliant.
If they build fucking Hong Kong and Scotland, Trash Future is moving there. We need to have our finger on the fucking pulse, and that is where we will be. We will be eating fucking noodles 24 hours a day. Being served by like whatever this weird rule is, like where suddenly there's like a weird like racial hierarchy or something, and like there's a bunch of Scottish people that live there, but they have to work as like almost slaves to the highly productive Cantonese.
Whatever like mainland Chinese that managed to make it over are all owned by HSBC now, so it's like it's all this is what we wanted. This is great. Yeah. All right, so. This is when he start like blaming NIMBYism for this not happening before, which I found very funny, because you wouldn't want Hong Kong in your backyard.
No.
There's the great map where he showed like all the parts of the UK where no one lives without any consideration of whether this was like owned by like that guy who owns ASOS from Denmark, who owns like most of Scotland now. And,
cool.
Yeah. Or if it was like a giant lake, like Loch Ness in Northern Ireland, which is apparently marked as an area no one lives because it's a lake.
That is erasure of Loch Ness monster culture.
All right. At the dawn of the 20th century, nobody could have imagined that Hong Kong would grow from being a small colonial concession.
No one could have fucking imagined this whatsoever.
No one could have imagined one of the most important British territories continuing to be a really important place.
To one of the greatest and loveliest cities on earth. I love the usage of the word loveliest. It sounds like my grandmother saying it, and I'm just imagining everyone in lovely sweaters. It's very good.
That's like a guy at like a work party talking about your teenage daughter, and like obviously hinting at the fact that she's reached puberty, but being like, "Oh, hasn't she gotten lovely?"
No, that's
just looking at Hong Kong's nascent bosom. Its economic breast, and saying,
yes,
isn't that lovely?
What a fledgling economy.
Really, you could call it ephebic.
Oh, Jesus. Today, the biggest obstacle to building Hong Kong 2.0 is that same lack of imagination. It may seem weird and unprecedented, but we live in weird and unprecedented times.
Okay.
The costs, if nobody comes, would be insignificant. We would have an empty patch of land with an obscure set of rules governing, well, nothing. But the benefits, if Hong Kongers do come, would be huge.
Okay, like, he's just not thought about this, like, at all. Like, he's saying that, like, we're not going to invest any money into the city until someone comes. So, like, he's just going to expect them to show up to, like, a fucking field and be like, okay, build Hong Kong. Like, we're not going to build
It's the
any
fucking Wayne's World thing. It's the fucking Wayne's World thing where fucking, like, Jim Morrison's ghost comes to him. He's like, if you build it, they will come. He's talking about fucking...
No, because it's the reverse.
If they come, they will build it.
Yeah, exactly. No. But, like, the thing... What is it then? What was that, the part then just now about then how if it fails, it'll just be an empty, like, place of land with weird laws? Like, of course it'll be used for, like, some other type of special economic zone bullshit thing. Just, like, bring the poles over there or something. I don't know. Like, that's what it'll end up becoming.
He just wants a place where he can go dogging with impunity. That's the whole thing. He knows the Hong Kong thing's not going to work, but he just wants to be not messed around with by the fucking feds next time he tries to have sex on a car windshield. And I appreciate that.
Yeah. Hong Kong 2.0, which is a misnomer because no Hong Kongers moved there. It's now just called Dogging and Pedophile Island, I guess.
It's in the middle of a lake in Northern Ireland.
Finding someone, it's very expensive to find that one guy who'll bring you out there on his fishing boat. But man, when you're there...
Yes, I did go to Dogging and Pedophile Island, but it's a much misunderstood place. In any case, I only went there to get directions to get away from there.
I went there to tell it that I won't be coming back.
Yes.
Oh, God. Okay, where was I? But the benefits, if Hong Kongers do come, italics, could be huge. A new chance for them, a new city for Britain, and a new opportunity to put them and us at the center of a transforming global system. Not built on borders, but on human ingenuity.
You're literally making a fucking like special economic zone in your own country.
Yeah.
What the fuck is that? Not building borders, my ass. Come on.
Yeah. This is at the level of like, oh, we're all just gonna go and live on Mars shit. This is like if you're like the economic version of Elon Musk, you're just like, oh, well, why don't Israel, Palestine, those guys aren't getting along. Hey, why don't we just put Palestine in France? Like
well, yeah, like
the French love. I mean, yeah, the French by no means are just as violent against minorities and people of color. Like the fucking IDF.
The French historically love
the French
all
love
Muslims.
kites. They love rope tied to fence.
Oh my god, yeah. So then people started like posting screenshots back to him of like where the city could go, and it was like all just like screen caps of Google Maps. And what was distinctly impressive about it was always like, oh, this is about the same area of land that Hong Kong takes up. Here it is on somewhere like in East Anglia, and notably underneath it was just like the name of a town where presumably people live.
Better learn fucking Chinese, the people of Ipswich. You're about to, yeah. Do you like fucking chicken's feet while you're about to learn?
Yeah, just someone rolls into Ipswich with a fucking like blackboard on wheels and just like, all right, people, it's time to learn tonal languages.
Yeah. Like they've changed. New Year has fucking moved.
I'm sorry. I'm thinking more of the fact of the fucking people from Hong Kong having to go and learn Welsh. That seems far funnier than the other way around.
Yes.
Yeah, goddamn. I mean, you know, Welsh is a thing, but it is an absurdly complex thing.
I really love that, like, this happens. They build it in somewhere in, like, north of Wales where, like, no one lives and there's no infrastructure or anything. But actually, through some weird historical hiccup, Welsh has had a resurgence because it's actually really easy to learn Welsh when you just transcribe it in, like, traditional Chinese script. For some reason, it's just more intuitive this way.
Yeah, less wise.
Yeah, less wise. It's just, that's the symbol for sheep. We could just say that now.
Yeah, that's dope. I mean, yeah, like, well, I mean, this whole plan just reeks of, like, this guy had a fucking deadline. He hadn't come up with anything. He's like, I don't know, Hong Kong. Why don't you just put it in Scotland? Fuck it, I don't care. Like, this would be awesome if it worked. Like, yeah. I've done some maths in my head about there's 300,000 Chinese people. Well, that's 300,000 more economy for Scotland. You know, the economy there now, I presume it's 0 plus 300,000. That's good, baby. That's called science.
But it's worth pointing out that, no, he rejects the 300,000 figure. He wants the 7.5 million figure of all Hong Kong residents. The weird kind of, like, doomer, like, geopolitics aspect of this is he's basically given up Hong Kong to the PRC. He's just like, yeah, have...
That's right. That's fucking right.
Have this piece of land. We're just going to take all the people first.
Doing fucking Dunkirk on Hong Kong, just like evacuating.
Just imagine Dunkirk, but it's just a lot sweatier because it's so humid.
Yeah. Just a bunch of guys who are like way too hot in their cable knit fisherman's jumpers, picking up like 5 Hong Kong Chinese and then sailing for like 2 months to get back to Britain.
Start playing Daft Punks around the world.
Yes.
But okay. So,
I mean, you could just do like the fucking SpongeBob thing of just like literally physically move Hong Kong. That may be easier. Like,
but again, we're building like a gigantic pineapple at the bottom of a lake in Northern Ireland, and all the Hong Kong Chinese are going to live in it.
Who lives in a pineapple under the sea? Hong Kong
7.5 million Hong Kong Cantonese, whatever they're called.
Well, that's it, because like they would all be shoved into like all these terrible prefab homes left over from World War II. But they'll just paint them like pineapples, being like, who's seen SpongeBob? And everyone's given like a complimentary DVD of like season 5 of Big Bang Theory because they're mad for that over there.
Oh my god. This is a deeply Bazinga idea, I have to say.
Yeah, as soon as the plan's announced, Sam Bowman to himself in front of a computer playing Sim City, where he got the idea from, because that's the only game where people come and then the city suddenly springs up. Is just looking at a computer as Boris Johnson's on like in front of number 10 Downing Street, just being like, and we're making a new Hong Kong, to which he says quietly under his breath, Bazinga.
Of course.
But I want to actually, this brought my attention to some weird historical shit that I would like to bring back, to bring to people's attention, because...
Oh no.
Yeah, because Milo was not far off when he described how this would go down. This was a government document that eventually was released in, when was this? 2016. But
I wonder why we didn't hear about it.
Yeah, right? About plans in 1983 to do with both Hong Kong and the Troubles.
Oh my god. Fuck yeah. Separate the Catholics and the Protestants with a long, thin line of Hong Kong Chinese. That'll sort them out. Fucking no one will mess with those kung fu motherfuckers. That will keep both sides at bay.
You joke, but yes, this is exactly the plan.
No.
So,
oh my.
Okay, 1983. The 100-year clause on Hong Kong is running out. They know in 1997 they will have to possibly make good on this point of giving Hong Kong to China or start a war with China, whichever one works best. We know how that one turned out. Yeah, but instead they floated the idea of settling the then population of 5.5 million Hong Kongers into Northern Ireland, which had a population of 1 million at the time, I think.
Dope.
So their idea was it would solve the
two groups where neither would understand a fucking word the other was saying. It is the Hong Kong Chinese and the Northern Irish.
You all have to learn Ulster Scots. God damn it. Yeah, so government officials raised the idea of resettling the entire 5.5 million residents of Hong Kong in Northern Ireland at the height of the Troubles. It has emerged in government documents just been released.
As mercenaries.
Okay. I mean, this is what we call fuck around and find out, right? It's just all right, Northern Ireland, that's a fucking mess. Hong Kong, that's a fucking mess. What if we just put them both in the same place? Maybe it'll work out.
I have to just search Google for something real quick. Yep. The suggestion was made initially by an academic, Christy Davies, a sociology lecturer at Reading University. A city-state should be established at McGilligan Point between Corryline and Derry, he said, literally between the nationalist and unionist parts of the country, I guess. He said, because the colony's population would have no political future after the territory reverted to Chinese rule in 1997. There is a footballer called Christy Davies, so I can't find any information about this Reading University person.
Maybe it's the same. This is the sort of theory I think a footballer would come up with.
Absolutely, yeah.
Or it's just I was resting my entire career on this plan, and now the government has rejected it. I might as well just follow my other passion, which is football.
Well, the trouble is with the Unionists and the Nationalists in Northern Ireland is, they've got no one in midfield. So I say bring in the Hong Kong Chinese.
All right, so I think I might have misdirected here because a Northern Ireland civil servant, George Ferguson, that's a Protestant name, seized on the idea and launched into an enthusiastic discussion with the Foreign Office. A file entitled The Replantation of Northern Ireland, because the first one was a razing success, from Hong Kong, records the exchanges. The title echoes the 17th century settlement or plantation of Scots in Ulster by King James I.
A modest proposal, but it's just turn Northern Ireland into China. Listen, we all know that the potatoes didn't work, but have we tried rice paddies?
Oh no, it just starts another famine that overwhelmingly affects the Hong Kongers.
Yeah.
So we've reduced the population.
This is literally also, too, I'm wondering also, the racist backlash of this, too, of them, remember a few months ago during one of the many border disputes that Turkey had with Syria and Kurdistan and whatnot, where then Erdogan's first thing is no, Kurds cannot live in Turkey because they're mountain people, and the Turkmen are also mountain people, and that's why we have to resettle the Arabs in the left part, in the far eastern part of Anatolia, because that's most geographically similar to where they're from. I just did these fucking mind gymnastics of just why he's a racist.
Sounds like he's playing Magic. Sounds like he's playing Magic the Gathering. I was I can't play the Kurds now. I haven't put down my mountain card yet.
It's fucking, but it's the fucking Sim City ass world where he just fucking if I just fucking pull up the fucking.
We just pull up the mountains. The Kurds will come.
Yeah.
Or they'll go away.
This has kind of a very Trump energy as well. Listen, what we're going to do, we're looking into this very strongly. We're going to unite. There's nationalists. There's the unionists. I'm sure they're both good people, folks. What we're going to do is we're going to make them unite. We're going to unite them against China. We're going to unite them against the Chinese.
All right. Do you want to hear some of Ferguson's quotes here about why he thinks this will be such a raging success?
Okay.
Yeah.
Yes.
Are any of them like, I've smoked a lot of crack this week?
You can't tell the Foreign Office that.
Mm.
I think it's implied. If the plantation were undertaken, Ferguson wrote, it would have evident advantages in reassuring the unionist opinion of an open-ended nature of the union. So he's basically like, yeah, the unionists, the Orange Order will fucking love this because there's now 1 million people, or no, 5.5 million people who were like super grateful to be uprooted from their home and now love the British.
Cool. I can't see any problems with that.
No. American doubts about the scheme would be assuaded. What? Assuaged? Okay. Assuaged. Okay. American doubts about the scheme would be assuaged by the possibly happy outcome to the uncertainties currently surrounding Hong Kong. Right. This would raise no uncertainties.
I just imagine like one of the key issues that he's identified up top is like American reservations about it. Like a bunch of guys in bars in Boston being like, "All right, the British want to put fucking China in fucking Ireland, which is where we're fucking from. I won't stand for it."
We are undecided here whether the arrival of 5.5 million Cantonese would make government policy on devolution more or less easy to implement. Arithmetically, recognition of 3 identities might be thought more difficult.
Imagine turning around to the Hong Kong Chinese, right, who live in this like prosperous city in Asia and like very cosmopolitan, being like, would you like to move to this fucking rainy, godforsaken part of Britain, which is renowned for sectarian violence? Like, 5 million of them, all of them, 100% immediately like, yes, thank God you asked.
Sign me up. Who's this Daft Punk guy? Yeah. So I really like also the implication here of like, okay, we have to do power sharing in Northern Ireland, but we're concerned about the Sinn Féin guys. So what if the power sharing was like diluted with the politics of Hong Kong, which I'm sure will make a lot of sense in Northern Ireland.
It's a sort of like Chinese culture acts as an emulsifier to the troubles.
On the other hand, the newly arrived third, quotation marks, identity would be hard not to recognize and is in turn...
Yeah, that took like 2 seconds for him just like immediately other them of like, oh, they'll never actually be British. Like, fuck them.
And this in turn might lessen the scale of the problem in recognizing the other two, which I'm very reluctant to do at this moment, I guess.
Cool, good. Yeah. Enjoying this.
I don't want to recognize the Catholics as British, so I guess unless there was like a Chinese guy beside them, that might make it a little easier, I guess.
Yeah. Using the Chinese as a kind of reference point in comparison to which people suddenly seem more British.
He then used Gibraltar and the Falkland Islands as legal precedents as to why the European community, which then becomes the European Union, would have little to object about the sudden influx of 5.5 million Hong Kong people into Northern Ireland.
Oh, yeah, the 5.5 million people who live on the fucking Falkland Islands.
The
Falkland, how many people could possibly live on the Falkland Islands? Like 1,000?
We have to make space for all the sheep and booby traps that we left for the Argentinians.
Yeah.
Oh, God,
I'd love to see it.
Who lives on Gibraltar?
Mostly people who are heavily invested in the online gambling industry, and then some really cool monkeys.
Yeah, there's a big rock.
I know that. I didn't like
And then the area
isn't it just that?
Yeah, it's basically just that. And then the area around it of Spain has just been absolutely destroyed into terms of like suburban hellscape, and there's a bunch of factories, and then a bunch of like Spanish waitresses who like get paid slightly more by working in Gibraltar because they're paid in pounds.
Yeah, but Gibraltar's like really cursed, and like all the people who work there don't live there because they hate it. Like, so you get all these like rich British bankers who work in Gibraltar, but they all live in Grande in Spain, which is like this really like nice bougie coast town where it's all like beautiful fucking mansions with like things that open up onto the beach. And then every day they drive into Gibraltar, which is just like Dave's Calf, where it's 100 degrees Fahrenheit, 24 hours a day, but you can only order things with gravy on them.
Yeah, no, I my family has to visit that every year because they're very insistent on having like a box of roses for Christmas, and that's the only place in Spain you can get a box of roses.
Dope.
Oh God. So yeah, that's the.
I mean, there's a solution staring us in the face here, isn't it? It's put Hong Kong in Gibraltar. Fucking do it.
Uproot the land itself as well. Just take the island and put it in the Mediterranean.
Yeah, that's the fucking SpongeBob solution. You know, take Bikini Bottom and move it somewhere else. And then at the end of that episode, they move Bikini Bottom into a canyon, and then a big worm comes and crushes Bikini Bottom.
Yeah, exactly. It makes perfect sense. This is what first of all, you nuke Gibraltar, and then you bulldoze it, and then you build Hong Kong on it. That's how the sausage gets made, folks.
Yeah, that's what I did in my City Skylines game, and that's what I'm going to do in real life.
Oh, can they like hire the person who did the island communities in like Abu Dhabi that are just like in the shapes of really stupid fucking things?
So this was something else that kind of came up in the Twitter thread, which I think Milo has some experience of talking about before on Trash Future, which is this plan to bring Hong Kong to like somewhere in Northern Ireland, Scotland, or the north of England would have just ended up being like white people Neom, the like Mohammed bin Salman's like planned city with like robot T-Rexes and the fake moon that he was going to build, which is now
he's building robot Belgians. The dream of every Saudi is to be waited on by a cyborg Belgian.
But I remember showing this to you, Nick, but like one of Mohammed bin Salman's plans was to basically build. He constantly referred to it as like the Hong Kong of the Middle East, and it was going to be in West Saudi Arabia, like on the Red Sea.
Oh, my brain just went into very dark places just now.
But like every so often, whenever he was like sitting down to talk about this like entirely private funded like city, and their desperate attempt to like diversify the skill set of Saudi Arabia because they know that like oil was a ticking time bomb. They just like he kept talking about there's going to be robot T-Rexes and we're going to build a fake moon that will be over the city.
What? A fake moon?
A fake moon.
I fucking love Mohammed bin Salman's energy because it really is like you can tell that he's around like the same age as Elon Musk, that they probably like were educated in the same spots and whatnot. Like both, you know, wealthy to the point of like reality does not exist for them. Like we joked about like with Elon Musk with like going back to work or whatever, just like in a fucking Gundam suit probably, like, you know, as like an overseer or whatever. Like, and he would probably do that. Like that's the thing. Like, you know, but Mohammed bin Salman's just like a little bit crazier in a way. I don't know. I love it.
I'm still hung up on the concept of a fake moon. Like, what is that? Is that just like a blimp? Like, what? Like, how? In what
it's
way?
It's a fucking good. They take the Goodyear blimp and they just put it in Saudi Arabia.
Yeah. Like, hey, in what way is it a moon? Point one. In what way is it fake? Point two. Like, what? Like, and it's like limited to this city. Like, surely if it was effectual as a fake moon, it would be visible from like multiple cities.
So,
is the whole city in a dome?
So, okay, I have to Google this again because Milo is right. We understand all these words when they're on their own and out of context, but when you put them together, it's insanity.
Yeah, because like, who's ever been to a city and been like, oh, they've just got the same old moon that everyone else has got. I want to go to a city that's got its own moon, like a moon with the bat symbol on it.
Okay, from the Wall Street Journal on like the plans for Neom.
I want the moon with the fucking Punisher logo on it.
Actually, Nick, you say this, but
a moon with the sword of Islam.
No, fuck off. That's not real.
Okay, Wall Street Journal of the various things. Actually, I'm going to go through this whole list, But like of the very
the fucking cop moon just like pops up into the night sky.
Okay, of the 11-point list of things that were going to be in Neom, because it's also we're pointing out that it was recently announced that the Neom plans have basically been scrapped because the price of oil
except for the cop moon.
We'll just move that to Riyadh instead. Yeah, because basically the price of oil is now like negative $1 billion. Okay, so the 11-point plan. Number 11, moon. A giant artificial moon would light up each night. One proposal suggests it could live stream images from outer space, acting as an iconic landmark. So it's just going to be a giant like Twitch TV stream over the city?
Wait, hang on. It's going to be wait. Fuck. So it's okay. It's a giant fake moon that is just like a big like jumbotron that lights up at night, and what it lights up with is footage from outer space, which is exactly like looking at the night sky. What do you think that is? That is space. That's what you're looking at.
Okay, yeah. No, the light pollution is going to be so fucking dire in this like privately funded city that that basically we have to like show people the night sky to remind them of what it looked like in the before times.
Hell yeah. Moon in the shape of the Kaaba. That's what I want.
Do you guys want to hear the other 10 things that were going to be in Neom?
Yeah,
Please.
sure, why not, you know.
And we can put into the new Hong Kong, like Hong Kong on Sea or whatever it's called. All right, number 1, flying taxis. Classic.
Okay, yeah, the technology's there for that. Cool.
Scientists might take a flying taxi to work. Driving is just for fun, no longer for transportation.
Scientists, like this is like a fucking like you got to be a fucking scientist to live here.
Yeah.
Because otherwise the fucking flying taxi would break your mind. Like a normal simpleton couldn't handle it.
The taxis are only for scientists because they know how it works. The rest of the like the rest of the like the poor Hong Kongers or like the newly like Untermenschen Scots can't like fathom the flying taxi. So
until you understand the fake moon, only then can you take the flying taxi.
Yeah, you take a test every year to explain the fake moon. All right. Number 2, cloud seeding. The desert won't always. Yep. The desert won't always feel like a desert. Cloud seeding could make it rain.
We're making it rain in this bitch.
What's the currency in Saudi Arabia?
Oh, shit. I actually do not know.
Oh, well, whatever it is, it's just going to rain that.
The Saudi Arabian beheading.
A real is the currency of Saudi Arabia.
Oh, what is they have the same currency name as Brazil?
Yeah.
Damn.
That's so weird.
Just connecting some red string on my pinboard. Give me a sec.
Yeah. Okay. How is Bolsonaro involved in this? No, they tried that in Phoenix. Like, it doesn't really.
Phoenix is kind of lame. Well. Let's build a fake moon.
No. The thing of like trying to like make fake clouds so it rains. Like they've tried like quote unquote chemtrail things to try to get like the fucking for clouds to appear because there's a drought in Phoenix.
Nice.
Cool. Well, that sounds good. I mean, this is kind of one of the key points that he's ignoring about why people don't want to come and live in Saudi Arabia. Because A, Saudi Arabia just geographically is incredibly cursed. And B, the administration of Saudi Arabia is cursed in every other possible way.
But this is a special economic zone, so it will be ruled by a bunch of unelected people who might be okay. Or might scientists who will lower the age of consent to having a job.
Damn. Past this line, Wahhabism does not apply. You're in the Swin zone, baby.
It's just road signs with
Bazinga.
Bazinga. The road signs all say Bazinga and have drawings of Muhammad on them.
Yeah, there's like hundreds of French guys who are employed to just draw Muhammad all over the fake moon.
That's how they pay to get on the taxi. Number 3, robot maids. Don't worry about household chores. While scientists are at work, again, they're home.
Only scientists.
Only scientists, because again...
Only scientists and robot bitches. Yo, we're going to build a city without any fucking chicks fucking bringing us down, telling us that we can't play Warzone when we want.
Number 4, state-of-the-art medical facilities. Okay. Scientists would work on a project to modify the... Oh no, this got very cursed very quickly. I'm so sorry. State-of-the-art medical facilities is definitely a misnomer for what the rest of the sentence says, like the subtitle. It's like someone has in a menu said, oh yeah, it's a chicken tikka, and then the description underneath of what should be a chicken tikka comes like something with like beef and okra and like grease fat or something, because state-of-the-art medical facilities, scientists would work on a project to modify the human genome to make people stronger.
Hell yeah. Fuck, they're gonna create like human mules.
Hell yeah! It's fucking. Oh no! You know what it is? I figured it out. I've figured it out.
Yep.
They're making the Saudi equivalent of the planet Camino from Star Wars, where the clones are all made. This is what this project is. Yes.
Like everyone in the city, there are 2 genders. You can either be like a scientist, like a normal dude who's a scientist, or you can be like a brain damaged but freakishly strong like slave.
Yeah. Bane from like Batman Forever, basically.
Yeah.
But again, I can't, like, I have to stress of just imagining this entire project transported into like the Hong Kong 2.0, because now I'm just imagining the like, you know, the new Scottish Untermensch, but he can do like a 6-foot vertical leap. He doesn't need the flying taxi anymore. He'll just...
Who said white men can't jump?
Okay. Number 5. World-class restaurants. There would be fine dining galore in a city with the highest rate of Michelin-starred restaurants per inhabitant. That's going to happen
scientists
somehow.
and freakish eunuchs alike.
We can't let them breed. They're too powerful.
Not. We can't let them. They're forcing themselves on the robot maid. They have to be castrated.
Number 6. Dinosaur robots. Residents could visit a Jurassic Park-style island of robot reptiles.
Okay.
Is there a reason for it? Is just because Saudi Arabia can do it?
That's just the extent of what was written there.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Okay,
it's like in Saudi Arabia, they've only watched half of every movie. Like, they just watched the first half of Jurassic Park. Like, dope, let's just do that with robots. No need to watch the rest of the film.
I watched the first 2/3 of... Behind the Money with fucking MC Hammer, and all I've learned is money lasts forever. All right, number 7, glow in the dark sand. The Crown Prince wants a beach that glows in the dark, like the face of a watch.
Is he just a 10-year-old? Like, is that what? I want like.
How are you? All right, but like,
beach that glowed in the dark.
I'm just imagining how many fucking just Saudi Arabia just like doing fucking like, you know, like turning like that area just into like New Mexico in the 1950s of just like nonstop nuclear testing, but only so that you'll get that the sand will glow.
Yeah, it's like number 6. The park in the middle of the city is made out of fart putty. Hell yeah, dudes rock.
I just love the like confluence of this, of just like, I wanted to go enjoy the like fake moon where I could see space through the moon, but all it ended up being was the Punisher logo, and I can't even see it too well because the sand is too bright and all these fucking 6-foot tall Scottish Untermensch keep pushing me over and giving me wedgies.
Damn. It's a very we live in a society city. It's like something the Joker would come up with.
Yeah, so I want you to keep in mind the whole 10-year-old thing when I read out number 8 of what's going to be in this like special economic zone of Saudi Arabia.
Consent gone.
Number 8, alcohol. Alcohol is banned in the rest of Saudi Arabia, but it likely won't be here, say people familiar with the plan.
Okay. So, because like the only way to tolerate this city will just be to be like absolutely fucking wasted 100% of the time.
Because everything will just be like, just kind of like madness that causes you to disassociate, and the only way to handle it is to just become a functioning alcoholic.
Yeah, like everything is just an assault on the senses 24 hours a day. Like all you can do is just be like, okay, I'm just going to drink myself to death.
Yeah, the only way to edit the human genome is to be just like 4 o'clock drunk. Yeah. Okay, so combined with the dinosaur robots and the robot maids, number 9, robot martial arts.
Okay,
Fuck, yes, this is so cool.
This guy just wants, like, fucking Terminator to happen. Robots would do more than just clean your house, a premise that we've all accepted at this point.
They would also become Chinese.
Powered by just a...
Your fucking Roomba just turns into a fucking, like, 6 foot tall, like, thing that you can, like, melee with.
My Hoover is also my bodyguard.
They also could spar head-to-head in robo-cage fight, in quotes. One of many sports on offer.
What? This is just like... This, like, how high was this guy when he wrote this? This is just, like, pulling shit out of his art. Like, there is no evidence for the existence of any, like, oh, what's your fake city going to have? Alcohol, the beach will glow, fucking a fake moon, and robots killing each other.
All right. So, don't worry. If you've listened to the, like, other 10 points on this 11-point list and you're concerned about, like, Blue Lives Matter people taking a coup and controlling the moon, or, like, the weird genetically engineered...
Don't worry, Mohammed bin Salman controls all of it. So.
Yeah. And if you're worried about, like, some sort of weird civil war breaking out between the, like, 6 foot tall eunuch...
The Sunni and the Shia, yeah, I know.
The robots... The maids, the martial artists. If you're worried about all that, don't worry. Number 10, security.
Awesome. We've got to keep all the eunuch slaves who are called the helots for some reason.
Or whatever the Arabic for that is. Cameras, drones, and facial recognition technology are planned to track everyone at all times. Security.
Good. That sounds great. Don't worry. If you're worried about the fucking kung fu robots and the weird, like, fucking eunuch slaves, that's not a problem because it's also a police state.
Yeah, don't worry about that because, like, Dave, the cop from down the road, he's got his finger on the pulse. It's all good. Yeah. Oh, God. Yeah, building Neom will require money Saudi Arabia doesn't have. The country has recently run budget deficits, and MBS is committed to the bets like a $45 billion investment in SoftBank Group.
Tune into Trash Future for more on them.
So what's happening with Neom now is that a bunch of people who did invest in Neom are all being, like, reimbursed at the moment because building on the project has basically halted... because of
Kickstarter
coronavirus.
Didn't reach the minimum.
Yeah, exactly. And also a lot of articles about, like, the Bangladeshi slave class that is being used to build this.
Oh yeah, cool.
Because the city was planned to be built, like, in the middle of nowhere. Like, it was just a flat desert before any, like, plan. Oh, they've also, like, taken the local Huwaitite tribe and just enslaved them. So that's cool. They've taken their homeland and enslaved them to build this weird Neom megacity, the $500 billion project with a fake moon.
But that's cool, because then eventually they'll get to become super strong, thanks to the scientists who invented genome splicing in the taxi that flies.
Yes. All of this will come to pass.
Yeah. Awesome.
So that's my lovely little presentation on charter cities. I mean, the rest of the Ferguson report about Northern Ireland was just a long screed about how the Hong Kong people are, like, a fishing people, so they'll be fine in Northern Ireland. So
cool.
Yeah.
Again, it's the same fucking energy as the Erdogan thing. Yep. It's so cool.
Yeah. It's like, it's just do it, in my opinion. Like, if you think it'll work, just fucking do it. Put Hong Kong and Northern Ireland. I don't care. Fuck around and find out. I don't know. Maybe it'll rule. Maybe the beaches of Northern Ireland will glow and there'll be a huge fake moon that has, like, the Irish flag, but it's just only the orange part. I don't know. Like, who can say?
The moon is orange for some reason. The Hong Kongers don't really know why, and they don't care.
Yeah. Why is the moon wearing a balaclava? Anyway.
Oh, no. That would rule. I'm sorry. But if just, like, all the IRA addresses, you see the people in the balaclavas holding the AK-47s, but that's projected on a giant moon over this, like, city filled with a Hong Kong slave class. They're just like, what the fuck is going on? As they can barely understand Northern Irish English.
Yeah. That's what we love to see, folks.
This is the future. I think this is going to pass. This is going to happen.
Yeah, get that one through the Northern Ireland Assembly.
Oh yeah. So that's all I have on that. On Sam Bowman's brilliant Charter City plan. I hope you enjoyed it.
It's been a wild ride.
I'm kind of indifferent, to be very honest. I'm with Milo on the idea of like fuck around, find out. Like like, maybe it will rock. You know, maybe I do want to go to fucking Little Hong Kong and in I don't know, Ulster or wherever the fuck it's gonna be.
Yeah, why stop there? Fucking Singapore and Serbia, do it.
What if we put Singapore into the landlocked nation of Serbia? Excellent. This is going to work. Next, we're going to put the city of London into the Gobi Desert.
Yeah, that rules. Let's do it.
So, Milo, thank you for coming on. Where can people listening find you?
It's been a pleasure. You can find me on Twitter at Milo_Edwards, and you can listen to me on Trash Future, the podcast that you're not listening to right now.
Yes, the only other one.
Yeah, but we do talk about, there are two podcasts, two genders, two podcasts. But we do talk about SoftBank a lot. So if you're into mad Saudi investment, check us out.
Oh, God. And with that, I'm going to say goodbye, and you'll catch us next week.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.